You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Whosoever hears this audio, if they be worthy, shall possess the inside human and superhuman abilities of the world's mightiest metahumans. Accompanying this journey of high-quality nerd commentary, you got my son Colton, a.k.a. Pizza Parker. Talk to the people.
It's your boy Colton, a.k.a. Pizza Parker, a.k.a., just your boy.
You know what I mean?
The boy,
the kid. You know what I mean? The man.
The guy.
The guy. And as always, you know my son Gas is in here, you know what I mean? Floating around in the atmosphere, making shit sound crispy, you know what I mean? And you know who it is? It's your boy Dennis, aka Old Dirty Dennis, aka Paid Wilson, aka Merc with a pod, aka Breaking Fourth Wall, your girl's wall, Walls of Jericho, Amanda Waller. Hear me out. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about, nigga?
You know what I mean?
Bitch out with like 15, like a quadruple entendre just now.
You know what I mean? Yo, welcome to another issue of the Mighty Metahumans podcast. Bro, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah? So we are definitely talking today. I mean, because listen, man. Shout out to Ryan Reynolds first. I gotta give him props because sometimes you just gotta pop out and show niggas for real. Because literally, if he didn't leak that trailer of that unfinished Deadpool shit back in the day, we don't get this show. This never happens. I mean, it's a whole nother branch of the timeline where Hugh Jackman stays retired and does like musicals for the rest of his life. Know what I mean? And I don't know what Ryan Reynolds does because we're going to talk about how this kind of revitalized his career as well. Like, it's a lot of shit that happened because he leaked that shit. And it's a good look. I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like it's... So, first thing I want to ask. Let me see how I can put this together because I don't want you to give me your ranking yet. You can... How should I put that? All right, you know what? Before we get to that, let's lead into... going off of that leaked situation. So this is literally 20 years in the making, right? Or somewhere around there. Because, again, Hugh was retired. He was done. He let niggas know, like, he did his final performance in Logan. I'm done. It's over. While all that shit is going on, we got Deadpool with the leaks. And then I think they was around, like, the second movie by the time Logan came out. Or they were about to make Deadpool 2. Whatever. It was somewhere around that time. The movie's doing pretty good. Like, you know, the first one did well enough that they gave them money for a sequel, which is rare for Fox because they're just usually like, whatever. And everybody wanted it. Like, at that point, it was just like, damn, we kind of missed the opportunity of, like, fucking Deadpool and Wolverine being in a movie together. Nigga, like, this nigga retired. But it's just like, yo, he was doing it for 20 years. The nigga's tired, bro. It's 20 years of fucking being the same character. He's done. It's not his fault that... Deadpool just got popping right now in the movies. So it was just like, damn, that's kind of bittersweet. But the fact that both of these niggas are friends in real life and Ryan is fucking annoying, he kept asking the nigga like, yo, pull up, my nigga. Like, we can make the third movie together. Like, fuck, it don't matter that you retired. Like, and he died. Like, we figured some shit out. It still didn't seem possible, right? Because Fox is just like, yo, we're not giving him the budget. We're not paying Hugh Jackman. Like, we're not fucking doing that. That's stupid. Our superhero movies don't make enough to pay a Hugh Jackman out of retirement 20 movies in, bro. Like, we made a deal by getting rid of him. Like, now we got money to spend. But behind the scenes business shit, Disney buys out Fox. Mickey Mouse got some pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got money. So, when it's time to make the third Deadpool movie, what does this nigga want? He wants Hugh. He wants his friend. Again, Hugh was very clear. No amount of money in the world, I'm not coming back. Until he saw what a Disney check looked like.
All I know is that it's been a lot of motherfuckers pretending like they would not come back and came back because them checks look good, them checks man.
Is checking, bro.
It's not even only Disney. I just think comic book movies in general, the second niggas see them residuals and the numbers they could add on, they're just like, you know what? Did I say that? Maybe I was bugging. Maybe I didn't think.
I was in a different time in my life.
Look, I was a different man before I seen this check. I was a different person before I seen this check. And now I'm a different person with this check.
With this check.
So
get me
till
the suit,
I'm
nigga.
90. You get what I'm saying?
Till I'm 90, nigga. Like, get me the suit, nigga. So yeah, like honestly, that led us to getting this movie. And regardless if you think it's like great or you just think it's okay or whatever the case is, I'm happy because of the implementation, what it implies. So we're going to get to that too. So, first question. Now that we've given you guys, we have to slow walk you guys into like the, we have to give you some foreplay before we can't just jump right into the sex. You know what I mean?
Right.
How did you feel about the movie? Like, without giving me a ranking, like how did you feel going in and leaving the theater? That's a better way to put it.
I'm probably gonna be the harsh reviewer
That's
today.
fine. That's fine.
I went in not expecting a goddamn thing, to be real.
Okay.
Like, I really expected it to be fucking stupid and Ryan Reynolds to be hella annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And I also expected Hugh Jackman to just do his best while having to deal with all that annoying shit that's happening.
Right.
And I left a little pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
Like, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I did. That I thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess not to give away too much. That's what I'll say. I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay. So I will say I'm gonna issue an apology to Marvel first, and I'm gonna tell you what the apology is for. It's not for Deadpool being this amazing movie or anything like that. The apology is for a conversation we also had on this podcast. It was a while back. Where we talked about how would they handle rated R films? Could they handle rated R films? Because they have a very squeaky clean image that they, at that time, didn't seem like they wanted to give up. And the best example that we had of violence at that time was Moon Knight, where it was just like the violence happened, but off screen.
But it didn't happen.
Exactly. And that was their workaround. And it was just like, so then how are they going to handle Deadpool where he's making like crazy ass jokes, like adult themes, you know what I mean? And like a lot of fucks, a lot of violence.
They let him do it, man.
They let him cook, which while watching the movie, I still couldn't believe I was watching a Disney movie. Because it was just like, they really gave these niggas room to do whatever they wanted.
There's certain lines and like parts in there that I was just like, I can't even believe Disney okayed this shit. Like the shit with the bone, like when he was like pulling the two guys and then they turned the angle so it looked crazy. And I was just like, why Disney really okay?
We in a different era of Disney. Like, you know what? It's basically what happened to Hugh Jackman. Once they realized how much money they can make with a little bit of violence and mature themes, they were like, hey, fuck it, let them cook. Let them fucking cook. So that's what I owe them an apology for.
I like that it was a Kevin Feige production as
yes,
well.
Yes.
I like that they was like, hey man, this was what you used to work on. Remember when like you was on Fox over there doing them whack ass movies? And now you like the head over here. Yeah. We're gonna put this on you, man.
So honestly,
I thought that was one of his best gambles.
Yes. So like I said, I'm shocked because the movie had cocaine violence. It had cocaine.
So much
violence,
cocaine references.
Pegging, obviously.
Yeah, mad crazy.
I saw a report that said in all of Disney's movies, there's been 119 uses of the word fuck. 118 of them came from this movie. The only other time a fuck was let off was Guardians. The one time they said fuck in the movie, there's some shit like that in Guardians 3, and that was like a big they crossed a whole new barrier. And then Deadpool comes out and does it 118 more times in the same film. So I got to give them props for that because honestly, I didn't think they had it in them. Like we definitely argued about this with Gas on the podcast before, and it was just like, I don't know, bro. I don't think they're gonna do it. And fuck it, they did. You know what I mean? So I got to give them props for that. I will say, leaving the theater, I had a more pleasant experience leaving the theater with this movie than I've had in some time when it comes to Marvel. It kind of gave me that feeling of still being excited after the movie ended. Like I left and I still wanted to talk about the movie. Like as opposed to you've seen like one of the more recent phases of films, not Guardians, and you just like, okay, that happened, and it was like, that's cool, I guess, and you're now just thinking like this was just a stepping stool for like the next thing. But I actually left the theater watching this movie. It was like, hey, I actually had a good fucking time watching this. And I actually want to continue talking about this movie for the next couple of days, which I did. So in that regard, I enjoyed it. And I feel like maybe it was just a kind of a breath of fresh air because of how they ended the film. where it wasn't about the next stepping stool for the next movie and the next big thing. It was just enjoy this film. Like, we're just going to do shit about this movie and your experience in this film. Whatever comes next, that's next week's problem. Like, it's just for this movie. So maybe that was just a good thing that they didn't add any extra, and you just, because I mean, we'll talk about the end credit after, but the end credit was just about this movie. You know what I mean? So like, you didn't leave thinking, oh man, I can't wait till such and such team up or whatever the case was. It was just for this film. And I enjoyed that because it kept your mind in this movie as you left. So I appreciated that. So shout out to fucking, I don't know if that was a creative thing on their part for doing that or whatever the case is, but I appreciate that in general. My next question to you is, how do you feel about the anchor concept that they introduced, where like one person is the connection for that universe? So if they die, slowly deteriorates the, you know, kind of like how they plan with
the Nexus beings.
Yes.
The Nexus beings.
So how do you feel about that concept in general? Do you like it? Do you fuck with it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's stupid? Because I fuck with it in terms of, it makes sense that Logan was theirs, because then Logan dies and it's like it slowly starts to deteriorate their universe, and that's how it leads us into this.
It's fucking, I don't know, man. I'm about to be harsh.
Go ahead.
It's an ass pull.
Okay.
It's whatever, dude. Like, Marvel has been pretending like they've known what they've been doing, and they finally got caught, and they're still doing it. Whereas, like, now I will respect that, like, they put out a movie that was fun. It was fun to watch. It was funny. Yeah, I guess you're trying to establish how things worked, but nigga, it just seems fucking kind of stupid. Like, I get it. Like, I totally understand that it makes sense. It deadass makes sense. Like, the Nexus Beam shit, they should have just kept going with that. But I felt like they had too much dip in their shit, and they started trying to add a bunch of other shit with, like, the timelines and the pruning of the timelines and then this and then that. And then, like, this movie even undermined its own, like, Nexus being type of situation, because even the TVA, from what it seems, don't know what the fuck is going on. Even from Loki showed us that the TVA don't know what the fuck is going on. So, like, is anybody reliable? Like, is anybody in the Marvel universe that has information about the timelines and shit, are they reliable? Because this movie kind of showed us that the TVA isn't reliable, and they are the authority when it comes to time.
That's
so true. It sounds like bullshit to me. Like, it kind of sounds like, I guess we got to believe this. I guess that's how it works, right? Like, I don't know. Like, it's not like I don't like it. I just feel like Marvel has tried to, like, they tried to gaslight us into thinking that they know what they're doing, and I don't think they do.
Okay.
I think they're in scramble mode right now because of the Jonathan Majors situation, and like they're just trying to see what sticks. And Ryan Reynolds low key like saved them a little bit from that situation, but they're still kind of fucked.
Okay. So I'll say, going off of your point with the TVA, I do agree in a way. I feel like part of the problem with that is the TVA pretends to know everything, but at the end of the day, they don't, because everyone in the TVA is human. They're just humans from different timelines. So they don't really know that much. It's kind of like the government. Yeah. We got people in charge of the government that probably should not be in charge of the fucking government. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like that's what it is with the TVA, where it's like they are in charge and people follow whatever they're talking about, but they don't really know. Like, no one really fucking knows. So I do feel like in terms of that, within the story, it makes sense where it's just like these people are in charge, but they don't really fucking know what they're talking about.
But shouldn't someone
like,
fucking know? That's my thing. My thing is somebody should fucking know.
But it shouldn't be a human. It'll probably be like the Beyonder or something.
Yeah, but even
like,
then, right?
These niggas don't really know.
They should have been established somebody outside of Kang that actually knows what the fuck is going on. They kind of did, but then they have to throw it away now. So now it's like we're back to like square one, kind of, basically. It's like all this fucking multiverse. I'm gonna say it. All this multiverse shit is stupid. Like, and it's been stupid for a very long time, and they've never really established the rules ever. Like, they never ever established the rules. So they're just doing whatever, and we're just and people are just going along with it. And I think like we should stop going along with it. I'm sorry. Maybe it's fatigue. Maybe it's multiversal fatigue. But like, this shit sucks, bro. And like every time it tries to get somewhere, they throw a left turn, and I feel like they think they're being smart, but it's not. It just seems like they don't know what they're doing. Like when it comes to the multiversal shit. Maybe you guys see it differently. To me, it just looks like a company trying to scramble to throw a bunch of darts and see what sticks. And then if something sticks, then that's what they're going to go with.
So I'm going to agree to a part only because I do feel like the Jonathan Major shit threw them for a loop because they were banking heavy on that. And I think that they learned from that incident that you can't put all your eggs in one basket because that's what they did.
Yeah.
Like the whole plan was he was going to play all these different versions of himself in all these different movies and shows, and at some point it was all going to converge into a film, and then it would be and there would be the whole Kang dynasty and shit. And then he had his situation happen. They were like, we didn't plan for this. How do we fix this? So I do believe that the Deadpool Wolverine movie bought them time to kind of figure out like how to structure where they're going forward. And because they introduced the TVA, they got to figure out some shit with that because all these things were like loose ended plots because it didn't get to finish where it was going with Jonathan Majors. So it was just like you're going on a train, you're moving a train forward, and then you lose the conductor. And you still have to go forward with the train because you still have all the people on the train and all these other things, but you have to figure out who is now in charge of that train, moving train, because you no longer have that actor who was supposed to spear point this entire fucking phase, and you put everything on that. So now you have to figure that shit out. So now we're kind of seeing it in real time where it's like they're trying to, I guess, shift in a way, because you have to figure out a way to shift from the multiverse into everything else. You can't just can't just disappear because you built this over like a year and a half at least. So you have to figure out a way to shift. So the anchor thing in a way kind of helps them shift, because if one person dies and it ends that planet or whatever, or that universe, then now you can say, well, you know, Logan wasn't show. That's a good way to clear up Fox universes. That's a good way to like, because at some point at the end of the multiverse shit, it's going to be one unified planet again. Like we're going to go back to that. But since you introduce this into the MCU lore or whatever, you have to find a way to write yourself out of it. So a good way to write yourself out of it, I think, is the anchor thing, even though it feels like an ass pull, but you need an ass pull because real life situations happen and now you're just stuck story wise. So you need a way to write yourself out of that. And now if you say like, if this person dies, they lose this universe or whatever. Great. That's a good way to tie up all your Fox shows. So now like those universes are not important anymore. And you can just focus more on the 616 and whatever universes are left. So I agree that it does feel like a bit of an ass pull, but at the same time, you kind of need an ass pull.
So who's the anchor being of 616?
So that is the question I was leading to next. I like that you did that. So now we are going to guess, because I thought it was Tony, but then they said it wasn't. Feige said the person that's the anchor is still alive. Whoever is currently the anchor, he won't tell us, is currently alive. So it could be Spider-Man. It could be
But okay, all right.
Go ahead. I know.
But let's get real right now. If Spider-Man is the anchor being, and everybody fucking forgot him, isn't that fucking stupid? Isn't that fucking dumb? Wouldn't no one know who the anchor being is if he's like that? Isn't that fucking dumb? That's fucking stupid. Like, no, I'm sorry, I'm getting mad because that's fucking dumb.
I'm going to say why it makes sense, but it doesn't make it makes sense because you can still be the anchor being that no one knows.
Yes, but then if he dies, then y'all just cease to exist and they're not gonna know why.
Whoops.
Like that's fucking stupid. That's fucking dumb.
But I'm not saying that I don't know. I don't know who he is. I don't know.
I have a theory. I have another theory, right? That also would be fucking stupid, but I guess it would kind of make sense because we just watched Wolverine and Deadpool, and they basically replaced an anchor being with another anchor being. So what I'm thinking is, they want Tony back. They're gonna go into, I guess, the Fantastic Four universe and think that Doom is Tony, and it's not Tony.
We're gonna have a whole conversation about
and like
that.
I think they're gonna think that Doom is Tony. It's not Tony. They're all gonna be fucking shocked. And apparently, if Tony was the anchor being, and they can replace the anchor being with another anchor being, then I guess this Doom Stark nigga would be the anchor being, but they said the person is alive.
Yes.
So maybe it's Cap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's
yeah, it could be Cap. It could be Doctor
It
Strange.
could be Doctor Strange. It could be fucking Nick Fury.
Honestly, I feel like if
somebody fucking random.
I feel like it would be somebody random, like a perfect person that like Happy. It'd be fucking Happy. Or
Yeah,
some
probably.
Shit. Or
that makes mad sense.
Or Nick Fury, because he's the one that kind of connected the Avengers together anyway. So I feel like it would be somebody like that. It's not gonna. I don't feel like it's gonna be like one of the main heroes. It's gonna be some side person that connects the group in a way. Like the perfect person, if they were still in the show and they didn't write the person out, would have been Coulson. I could see Coulson being like an anchor being, where like he's the one that like, while he's not the strongest, he's like the love of the group, like the lovable. He's like Mikey, like of the Turtles. Like Mikey's the anchor of the Ninja Turtles. Like he's not the strongest, but he's the one that everyone loves. And if something happens to him, it fucks up the whole group.
Be somebody fucking dumb, bro.
I'm 100% positive it's not going to be someone that anyone else expects. It's going to be a Happy Hogan. It's going to be some Pepper Potts. It's going to be someone that you didn't expect. It's not going to be a hero. It just doesn't make sense to be a hero because all these niggas died at some point. Like the snap happened, so all of them niggas died at some point. So I feel like it's going to be someone very fucking random. Okay, so next question, because I feel like we could have did a whole conversation on just that shit.
Yeah.
But you guys will get your conversation because we're gonna do a San Diego Comic-Con on Marvel, and it's gonna be a whole thing. Next question for you, I would say, is how favorite Deadpool. Let's keep it light for a second. Favorite Deadpool variant.
Okay. I like Kidpool a lot. I also like Samurai Deadpool.
Okay, yeah.
What's his name? I forgot his name in the comics. They actually have a manga about him. And
yes.
Super
I actually have
cool.
that one too.
I do like Texas Deadpool.
Yeah, I was about to say my
Deadpool.
favorite is Cowboy Deadpool, and then I found out that it was Matthew McConaughey the whole time, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!"
Hilarious. And then
I like Lady Deadpool.
Lady Deadpool.
Shout
cool,
out to
there's also
Blake.
Deadpool 2099, the one that looks like the Power Ranger.
Yeah.
That one's cool as fuck, and they got like lightsabers.
Yes.
That shit is cool as fuck.
I like I said, I think overall, I had fun with the variants in that because it just kind of gave you something that, for the most part, if there wasn't a multiverse, you probably never see that version ever.
He was saying everything that I said, nigga. We're tired of this shit.
Yeah,
the multiverse is misses,
so
my nigga. It's a bunch of fucking misses.
That was funny,
and they're not establishing anything.
It was mad meta.
It's the truth. You're not establishing
like
shit.
That.
Okay, a bunch of Deadpools pop up to murder him. For what? Like, it's just fun. I get it. It is just fun.
I mean, they did.
But he also, to meta make fun of it, it's like, nigga, like, we do this all the time. A bunch of variants and shit pop up. And then, like, niggas could just basically just walk away and be fine. That's basically what happened with Deadpool. Peter pulls up. They're all hype about Peter, and he just walks away, nigga. Like, because that's technically how it kind of works. Like, they double meted up.
Yeah, no, they super meted up. Because, I mean, what's his name hired them to kill off that one because he was fucking up the timeline shit. And you know what's funny? We're still got other shit to cover, but I think it's funny that all this happens just because the Paradox wanted a raise and a title raise. That's the only reason we got this whole movie, is because the nigga was just like, yo, if I show them that instead of letting the planets deteriorate slowly, if we speed the shit up, like, I could be efficient and they probably make me like manager, nigga.
No, niggas wild.
And it's lit, and that's literally the reason why we got Deadpool 3, is just because this nigga wanted a raise at his job. Shouts to capitalism fucking shit up on every fucking plane of existence. Okay, how do we feel about Hugh? His performance.
Oh, Hugh did amazing. I'm not gonna lie, he did everything he needed to do. He's probably really going to be there until he's 90.
Until he's fucking 90, bro.
But he did great. Like, I have no complaints about Hugh at all.
I will say, the reason why...
Also, comic book accurate Hugh? Comic book accurate Wolverine?
That's literally where I was going. Because, honestly, I feel like not only did he take them... he came back, obviously, for the money.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the most Wolverine Hugh has been in 20 years of being Wolverine.
Yeah, this is the most
You can
Wolverine.
tell he was happy to do this. He was excited to do this. Because now, I feel like he retired because it was like, how much further could he take the character within the Fox universe? There was nothing left that you could do aside from die.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a bigger sandbox to play in with all these different people. You can be the Wolverine that you probably wanted to be the whole time with and get these interactions with all these different people. Like Deadpool being the first one is great, but I think what sold me on it is probably, this is the second time I'm going to say this in terms of like acting within all of the MCU. There's 2 great acting scenes in all the MCU for me. Like aside from explosions and all that fun stuff, 2. One is when Chris Hemsworth put on that fucking masterclass on that ship with Rocket.
Yeah.
And he was talking about all the people that he lost and how revenge gives you focus and all that shit. That was and he wasn't talking to nobody because it was CGI. It was a puppet in front of him.
Vision has a scene like that too.
The next great fucking scene for me, Vision was good. You know, that's true. The next great scene for me was Hugh in this movie when he shut Deadpool up
He
in
got
the
mad
car.
at Deadpool, yeah.
That shit was good as fuck. I was like, did he not know this was just a comic film? Like,
yeah, I think he didn't realize what movie he was in.
I was like watching it in the theater. I was like, yo, this nigga really acting, y'all. Like, this nigga putting on a show.
Yeah, nah, he
like,
went crazy. He went crazy.
I was like, did he not know we just here for fun? Like, I was like, God damn. And it was like, the shit was so good that all Deadpool could say was like, yo, I'm gonna fight you now. Like,
yeah.
He got in his ass. He did. He went crazy. That was some of my favorite acting within all the MCU. Because it was no violence in that scene. It was just emotion. And the way in which he did that in a Wolverine way, and was just like, yeah, how do you feel now, mouth? It was just like, God damn, bro. Like, how do we wrap this scene up? Like, I enjoyed that a lot. Like, overall, I feel like he had a lot of fun in this. I could tell he had a lot of fun in this just because while we talked about the Deadpool variants, the Wolverine variants were fucking funny. Like, when he hopped off the stool and that nigga was 2 feet tall.
Comic book accurate Wolverine, man. I loved it. And then 80s Wolverine with the one hand.
Yes, the Days of Future Past joint.
They got the Claremont cover.
They went crazy. Then
what the fuck are you doing here, Henry Cavill? What is happening? Who said this? Who?
Listen,
when did that happen? What was the joke? Did I miss that internet joke?
Listen, I won't lie to y'all. I pay attention to a lot of Marvel and just comic news in general over the years and like castings and shit. I've never
seen that.
Never heard the name Henry Cavill come up. So when this nigga pop, like I could tell it was kind of him.
Yo,
in my mind, I was like,
when I first seen it, I was like, that actually looks like Henry Cavill.
When I saw the arm and the shoulder and he turned around, I was like, the fuck is this?
No fucking way. I said, why is he here?
I was like, wait, what? And then he even went meta and did like the arm cock shit that he did in Mission Impossible. I was like, what the fuck? What? He looks great as Wolverine, though. The only problem, like, again,
he's too big.
These niggas are too big to be Wolverine, bro. Granted, the comic accurate shit, I feel like they put a little sauce on that because that nigga looked like 3 feet tall.
Yeah,
like, they could have made him like 5'9".
They could have made him a little bit. They could have made him a little.
They had him jump off that fucking stool 3 feet tall. I was like, nigga, come on.
I was so weak.
Honestly,
I wanted it to be Danny DeVito so bad because that's the joke that everybody makes. Like Danny DeVito was Wolverine.
Yes. But I thought the cameos were fun. The best one, we didn't even talk about that one because that one caught me completely off guard.
The best one
was literally when he pulled up. No, not Channing yet. We still like, hold on, we're gonna do him. We're gonna do him in a second. When I'm gonna make our name for myself. The last Wolverine joint that caught me off guard was when he pulled up in the brown suit.
Yeah,
and he walked up.
That was so good.
And then you saw Hulk. I was like, wait, hold on.
I said, wait a minute. That wasn't the comics.
Yeah, and then he turned around. He was like, he literally stole Loki's line, which is great. That was a nice little nod. He was like, listen, you big buffoon, I'm Marvel Jesus. And he just gets knocked the fuck out. That shit was great. And the suit was fucking fantastic.
Oh, dude.
For a suit that literally was in the movies for like 30 seconds.
That needs to be Wolverine suit. The brown shit?
Bro, they cooked. And that shit was literally in the movie for 30 seconds. They spared nothing. So I thought like the Wolverine cameos were just great. Because as much as we are kind of blasting the multiverse in general, if it wasn't for that, we'd probably never see these suits. Like, none of that shit would ever happen in live action because they never do the one-handed Wolverine shit with the fucking 80s,
the 80s
Van Halen type hair. Like, that would never fucking happen, nigga.
Stabbing the shit out this nigga.
Like, that shit would never fucking happen. But I was happy for that because it kind of just gave us a nod to things that you're probably never going to see. Like, it was just a chance just to have a little fun with it. Moving on from that, though, I had a random question, and I just thought it was funny before we get into, like, the cameo part. Does Deadpool have a problem with, like, bald people, bro? Because every Deadpool villain was basically bald. Like, literally, we had Francis. Know what I mean?
He don't fuck with bald people at all.
And the second one with Headmaster. Know what I mean? He was bald with the kid.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then Cassandra Nova. I was just like, yo, this nigga got a problem with niggas with hair? Like, this seems real personal,
He's
bro.
also bald. So.
Yeah, it was just like, yo, like...
Remember, he wants hair, so, like, he don't want to be a part of the set.
Yeah, it was just like, what's up with this nigga, bro?
I'm fucking
But speaking of Cassandra Nova, I really liked her. Even though she didn't... Like, I knew she wasn't going to be, like, a overly menacing villain, and she was going to be, like, a plot device.
She needed to be in a serious movie.
Yeah, I knew she wasn't going to get, like, because, I mean, honestly, like, it's Deadpool. They were never going to be...
Yeah. She was also too powerful for the movie.
Way too powerful. They had to
like,
exactly. Because I enjoyed how she uses her power versus Charles. The putting the hands in and actually feeling your brain is fucking fire. That shit is hard. Know what I mean? And even if... because the only time I noticed her fingers was, like, really in, like, the press release photos. If you look at her fingers, her nails are long as fuck. Like, not even like fingernails. Like, literally the nail part is super fucking long. So it makes sense that she's using that to, like, feel into your brain. Like, maybe we'll post a picture of it or whatever, but it looks fucking freaky. Because that's not her natural fucking hands. But, moving on from that, the cameos. So now, I will say, they did a really great job keeping some of this shit a secret. I'm not going to hold you, because I had a feeling about, like, the Elektra. The one that caught me the best, and I wish I'm not the type of person to, like, film myself in the theater or whatever. The one that caught me the best was Johnny Storm. Because literally when that shit came on, I was like, oh shit, they got Cap, nigga? Because he had the Cap belt with the fucking fatigue pants on or whatever, and they hit his face, and I heard the voice. And I fuck with Chris Evans, that's my nigga. So I heard the voice, I was like, these niggas got Cap. So he was just like, yo, he's gonna say the line. He's gonna say the line. Yeah. And then he did Flame One. You should see. I was like, what the fuck?
You know what's crazy? I knew it wasn't Cap because the nigga cursed immediately.
That's true too.
Like the first thing, like, get the fuck down or some shit like that. And I remember being like, yeah, that's not Captain America. And then I was like, oh, he was Johnny Storm.
So when they did that, I was like, God damn, they fucking got me. They got me. I enjoyed the cameos. Yeah. Like, this nigga, like, before we get, because Gambit is the best one, but we gotta go through the others first.
We gotta go through the others.
Elektra was cool because they kind of made her more serious, and I think it was funny that I won't say it's funny, I think it's good that they didn't make fun of her in the film, and they made her the more serious of the group, because honestly, when you watch the Elektra movie, it's fucking bad.
It's fucking hard.
It's pretty fucking bad. So them kind of giving her a chance to redeem herself and be a serious Elektra was cool. You know what I mean? After that, we got
Blade. Wesley Snipes.
Listen, nigga, he gave me the line again. Some niggas are still trying to fucking ice skate up the hill, nigga. I was like, yo. Amazing. And the reason why I did enjoy it is because even though he said it in an interview, I don't believe him because these niggas are actors. Them niggas had beef for a while. Because I remember the problems they had on Blade 3 on this. They didn't. Ryan Reynolds and fucking Wesley Snipes did not get along. I don't care about him saying, oh, it was a joke for 20. It was not a joke for 20 years, Wesley. You're a fucking liar. There were problems on the set. There were parts where, like, you covered your eyes and they CGI'd your eyes to open it or whatever. You guys did not get along. And they even made fun of that in the film. Because he did say some shit. He was like...
He said, I never liked you. He said, I know. I was dying.
Yo, so little things like that, when they throw little jokes in there like that, if you know the backstory to the jokes, it makes it fucking funnier. Because you know what they're really talking about.
Also, Deadpool fucking wild out on Hugh Jackman randomly about his, like, real life, about his divorce.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what the absolute fuck? I said, didn't he actually just get divorced? This is crazy.
Yo, nah, the meta jokes in the cameo scenes, fantastic.
Speaking of meta jokes, my favorite meta joke is the Gambit joke.
Wait, before we get to Gambit, because I want to say Gambit for last. There was one more Blade shit when he had the missile launcher. And he was like, it won't be one Blade. And then Deadpool looks at the screen like...
I don't know.
They did fantastic. So now, the cameo that killed me the most is when they showed the boots, and I was like, those look like Gambit boots, y'all. And he walks in, and it's fucking Gambit. And it's Channing Tatum. Now, if you guys know the history, he was supposed to have a solo film like 10 years ago, but again, it's Fox, and they're convoluted storylines, and it was supposed to be a heist romance film. That's what it was described as, and people were like, I don't know about that, dog. And it never came out. And he was really prepared, because I remember at that time, he grew his hair out, he cut the size down so he could get like the little swoop like Gambit, and he had the t-shirt on, he showed up at Comic-Con and all that shit. The movie never happened. He wasted all that time. I remember him saying he was done with comic books. He didn't care about that shit no more because it hurt too much to put all this into this role and just never get it. Yeah. And then the nigga shows up. And he stole that fucking scene, bro.
Fucking hilarious. Came on my public butter nuts. Came on my daddy butter nuts. Came out and said, "What's up, doc?"
Yo, Channing Tatum has been waiting for this for 10 years.
Yo, I don't make a name for myself. Make sure you tell her what happened here.
Yo, he put on a masterclass in fuckery. That shit was great, son.
At a point, he just started making like noises, like he wasn't even saying nothing. Like the shit was great.
And also, the fact that Deadpool was just like, "Yo, who is your dialect coach?"
I also love that when he asked who's your dialect coach, he just went, And then also, my favorite thing was when they was talking about where they were born, and then this nigga Gambit goes, "I think I was born here." I was born here. He was, "I don't even know if I was born here." He said, "I think I was born here."
I was born in a board.
He was, though. That's so meta. Because they never even let niggas even experience a little bit of it.
That shit was fucking fantastic. He stole every scene that he was in for me. Because that
name for myself here. I've been saying that
like
all
meme
week.
that I've saved, and I've been waiting to use that shit on. So I still got the video saved. I'm gonna make a name for myself.
I'll make a name for myself here. Make sure you tell everybody what happened.
That shit was fucking fantastic. I love that he finally got a chance to just, like at least one time get to do the fucking role. And I think it's dope that, at first everybody thought before the movie came out that this was kind of going to be like a Deadpool kills the Fox universe or whatever. And it actually turned out to be a love letter to the different, because it gave a chance to give closure to all these different characters. If we never see them again, you got a chance to see Blade one more time. You got a chance to finally see Gambit after being promised. You know what I mean? We got a chance to see Elektra one more time, be actual Elektra serious. You know what I mean? Like, it was a good chance just to see some of these characters get their just due one final time. We got to finally get a good Wolverine versus Sabretooth fight. You know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't say good.
He cut that nigga head off.
I wouldn't say good.
But
they could have gave us more, but it's fine.
It's fine. But I really appreciated getting a chance to just see those things, because the Gambit thing was definitely like, I remember that shit when it happened. It was just like, God damn, Fox, like, y'all fucking up. And honestly, I won't lie, they were smart, because I don't know if I could have dealt with a whole movie of this.
I'm not gonna lie. That nigga's dialect, that whole movie, that dialect would have been horrible, but it would have been. We would have loved it. It would have been fun.
It would have been
a cult classic.
It would have been a cult. It would have been like Wolverine Origins for me. Like the way I make fun of it with my son from the Black Eyed Peas. I am. It would have been one of those films. And I feel like if it came out, there was no chance of us ever getting Gambit on screen again. They'd have been like, "Oh, did you not see the 6% on Rotten Tomatoes that shit got? We're never doing that again." So the fact that he just got about 5 minutes in the movie total, and every minute of that 5 minutes was fucking fantastic.
It was hilarious.
I'm good.
I actually don't want to see another Gambit live action.
I don't.
I think we did it.
We did it, y'all. We did it. We won. So I appreciated that. Like I said, shout out to Channing Tatum. Fantastic job in your 5 minutes.
Also, there was one other cameo that was for like 0.5 seconds that I audibly gasped out loud because I was hyped, and it was Psylocke. Like when they just showed Psylocke pulling Shorty out the fucking spot. I was like, ow!
Yeah.
X-23.
So when she came up, I felt that was great just because I didn't think they were going to bring her back.
They didn't use her at all.
Yeah, so
either.
when she kind of came back, it was like, oh shit, we actually got. And then the emotional part because of how emotional Logan was, like, god damn, she got to grow up. This nigga really, he fucking did it, y'all.
He
like,
did it.
She got to have a life. Like, I enjoyed that a lot. I think the other part that I enjoyed was she threw on the shades. Yeah. That was fucking good. Like, whoever wrote that into the script, god damn, you got that one good. Like, you nailed that shit. Fire. That was good. Another part that I enjoyed, even though they didn't have big roles, was you got to see The Last Stand. You got to see Juggernaut. You know what I mean? That version of Juggernaut. You got to see Azrael. You know what I mean? You got to see all these niggas in the back. They didn't have talking roles for the most part.
But they were there.
Toad. You know what I mean? Like, all these niggas like showed up. I thought that was just kind of cool because, like I said earlier, it did feel like a goodbye letter to Fox. And the only way to do that is to like actually show these characters and kind of give them some love. You know what I mean? Like, to kind of wrap it up. So I really enjoyed that. Let's see what else.
Also, I have one question. What Ant-Man was that?
That looks like the Ant-Man 2 version, because the Ant-Man 3 is way bigger than that. Like the one from Infinity, was it Infinity? Yeah, from the Portal, he grew way bigger than that. So I feel like that was the San Francisco Ant-Man 2 smaller version. Because he didn't look that big. Like, he looked big enough, but he didn't look that big. Yeah, true. So yeah, I guess a version of him got into the void. He got fucked up by Cassandra, and they turned that nigga into a home, which is crazy.
Just fucking
like,
nuts.
niggas living in you, bro. Like,
yeah, that shit is crazy.
Like white blood cells, nigga. Like, that's crazy. So this part, I'm kind of setting the pick, and I'm leaving this to you because you did mention in the beginning where you want to be a harsher critic. And I did see you mention it briefly on Twitter about story. You didn't really like the story. You felt it was a little
it was all over.
A little convoluted.
At the same time, like, it's okay.
So this is your chance. Break it down for us.
My problem with the Deadpool and Wolverine story is, like, it is Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know. I don't know. I felt like it started off as like, the TVA wants me to work with them. I fuck up because I'm Deadpool. I do whatever I want. I found your Wolverine. I fixed your problem. They're like, nigga, this don't fix nothing. So then we're like, we're going to prune both of you motherfuckers now because you did this. But at the same time, I'm just like, yo, bro, you called this crazy motherfucker to come do the job. He does it wrong. You guys kind of should have figured he might fuck up and do some crazy shit like this. But he comes back, and you just prune the nigga, and like what? Like, that's it? Like, we just prune the nigga. There's nothing to worry about now because he's like in this whatever. And I'm still like, and I guess I'm gonna just blow up this timeline with my fucking nuke, and like, the shenanigans is happening within the void, and I totally forgot what the movie was about as the shenanigans was happening. I was like, oh shit, they did all of this shit to try to save the timeline, but then the nigga, he's on the other side trying to blow up the timeline. And like, at some point, it just felt like they were just doing whatever. Like, it legit was just like, we forgot the plot, and oh shit, we just remembered the plot, and then towards the end, they had to bring it all back together.
So my only pushback is, after playing Elden Ring, going somewhere with this, y'all, is I'm not going to explain what happened in Elden Ring for me, but basically it feels like the plot of the movie was, oh shit, the universe is dying, but it's dying too slow, or whatever. You want to join the TVA or whatever, and they were using him to because he was fucking with the timeline. They were like, oh, yo, like, we are going to destroy your planet anyway, your universe anyway, so if you work with us, you'll be fine, but everything that you love and everyone that you love is going to die. Like, that, it's over because Logan died, so it's no hope for you guys. And he's just like, nah, like, I love my girl, and well, my ex-girl, and Yukio, and all these other people. So I'm going to find a way to fix your problem. And he goes and he finds a Wolverine. He gets the Wolverine. It's like, yo, I'm going to put the Wolverine in this world. And that fixes the problem. And Paradox is like, oh, shit, he actually kind of fixed the problem. Nah, prune these niggas and get them the fuck out of here. Because he actually did the job that I didn't want him to do. I was just trying to keep him on my side. Because he's a killer. And if I need a killer to go kill the Nexus being and all the anchor being in all these other universes, he was supposed to be the person because he can't die, but he don't want to work for me. So prune that nigga and send him to the void. Now these niggas are stuck in the void, and it's like, yo, we got to get back to my world because we need you in my world to keep my world alive. Hijinks happen. Meanwhile, they don't know that Paradox has a deal with Cassandra where if anybody goes to the void, she gets to run the void. It's kind of like letting your young homie kind of run a corner. And it's like, that's your corner. Whatever you do there, cool. I'm taking care of the real world. And that solves his problem because she's stronger than him, Paradox. So if he keeps her over there, he could keep this part of the world and she keeps that half. They go over there. They're fucking with her world. She don't like that shit. She beats these niggas up. She could have leave at any time, but she was happy having her own place because she want to kill Charles.
Here's the thing. If I wasn't even fucking with her world. They got thrown there, and she fucked with them.
You on my corner, nigga. Like, why are you on my corner? So it was just like, yo, I had to deal with Paradox. He sends random Charles here, and I get to kill them every once in a while because that nigga tried to kill me in the womb. So I get to run this world and kill Charles. I'm gonna stay here. It's lit. Boom. These niggas trying to get back home, and she's just like, nah, I'm not letting you go home because this is my world, and I'm not going to look pussy in front of my mans and them, so you got to stay here and work for me. Boom. They find a way to get back. She uses her slinky ring. She comes to the real world, and it's just like, yo, I didn't know you had a machine here that could destroy all worlds. So how about instead of you having your own shit and me having my own shit, I destroy everything, and everyone got to come to me where I run shit, and I'm the only person that runs shit. And he's just like, oh, shit. I just wanted a promotion. This is kind of getting out of hand. And these niggas are like, I need to save my world. Wolverine's just like, I don't have a world to go back to, so I'm down to do whatever you want to do. They link up. They destroy the machine thing that she was trying to blow up. And it's just like, well, you don't have a home, but you can come in my universe because we kind of need a Wolverine anyway. So then they go back to his universe. Shorty from the TVA finds out about what Paradox is doing and finds out this nigga was just trying to get a promotion the whole time. It was just like, no, bro, like, that's not going to work. Like, we, as a result of everything that happened in Loki season 2, we don't interfere with universes anymore. If the anchor being dies, then that world just has to slowly die on its own. We don't interfere anymore. We just let that shit happen. And that's how Paradox story ends. So, in a way, to me, basically using Elden Ring as an example is I have an end goal, like it's to beat this boss. But before I can beat the boss, I got to go on like a side quest for a side quest to get the crackpots, to get the tiger lilies, to level up, to then go fight. So it's like...
The movie could have been 40 minutes. I'm not even joking. The movie could have been 40, but they added a bunch of extra shit. You had to go through
some shit. It's a side quest for a side quest. So yes, I feel like maybe that's what skewed my... rating on the movie in terms of like story is I understand that now playing games that's like I can't just go straight. I can't just not A to C. Like I got to go through B.1, B.2.
But I even feel like those parts weren't as strong. They weren't like strong enough for me to warrant like, okay, you're doing a bunch of side quests to get to your main goal. Is it fun? Like, is it fun? Yes. Does it make sense? Not really. Is like, do I care really as it's going on? Some parts, yes. A lot of parts, no.
So
like,
I feel like,
so it was just like, you know what? Elden Ring is probably the best example, right?
Uh-huh.
Because no one's having fun running through Volcano Manor to go through their side quests.
No.
And that's what it felt like in a lot of the points. Where it was like, you're doing this tedious, annoying thing, and I'm getting more frustrated than anything. And then it ends. I finally get the shit to happen, and now I can go back to what the main shit is. That's what Deadpool felt like. It felt like I was doing a bunch of tedious, like, side stuff. And then after the tedious side stuff is done, there is some fun shit in there. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and just be the super negative person. Because there was a lot of fun cameos. There's a lot of great random dialogue. There's like a lot of moments between Deadpool and Wolverine that showed that their relationship and how they foster their relationship and how they end up being cool enough to be like almost the Deadpool Wolverine comic dynamic that we know. But a lot of the other shit was just there and it didn't need to be there. Cassandra was too strong, so they had to like
dumb her down a little bit.
No jutsu her. Like niggas had to legit talk no jutsu a person who's like basically a super all-powerful genius. Yeah. So Yeah, you can see how I'm rolling my eyes like eternally at like that. But like, that's the only way they could have done it.
And
basically.
honestly, like, I mean, it's not fair, but it works. It always works in Deadpool's favor, where like, you know what the serious quest is, but the side quests that's just Deadpool being a goofy goober and getting himself into some bullshit. Because even when you read Deadpool comics, there's always some goofy goober shit before he does the serious shit.
I'm gonna say something, and y'all gonna hate it. I know everybody's gonna hate it. Ryan Reynolds needs to be less Ryan Reynolds when he's Deadpool.
He be being Ryan Reynolds, like he snuck in way too many actual Ryan Reynolds jokes that I was just like, you could sneak in like 2 or 3, that's fine. But you snuck in like 7 Ryan Reynolds jokes that was like, and I get it. Oh, he's mad at he's Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. Shut the fuck up and be more Deadpool, nigga. I don't care. No, I don't care. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what anybody says. He needs to be less Ryan Reynolds and more Deadpool. And if that don't make sense, then I guess I'm unreasonable.
I will definitely. This will be probably one of the few times where I have to say I think you're being unreasonable, because honestly, Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool is literally the same fucking person, bro. He is that annoying. Like in movies, I will say, because honestly, in real life, I feel like he's the more serious person and Hugh is the more goofy person. And in films, he's always this. Every movie that I've seen Ryan Reynolds in is literally the same character. It's the same thing across all his films. And honestly, if you just called him fucking Wade Wilson in any of those other movies, I would fucking believe it would fucking Wade Wilson the whole. He literally plays one thing.
I think that's our difference, because I don't see Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. I see Ryan Reynolds as Ryan Reynolds. He deadass plays Ryan Reynolds in every fucking movie that he's ever in. Deadpool is actually one of the first times where he wasn't just Ryan Reynolds, where I deadass seen him as the character Wade Wilson. He's slowly going back to being Ryan Reynolds, nigga. I don't fucking like that shit. I think he needs to like put a line in the sand between who Ryan Reynolds is and who
I don't
Deadpool
even know
is.
if he knows what that line is.
But he don't.
I don't know what that line is.
But here's the thing: the line was Deadpool 2 and 1. That was the line. Because he threw in some Ryan Reynolds jokes here and there, but it wasn't as egregious as this one was.
All right,
if that makes sense. If like think about how he
help me, give me a Ryan.
He made mad Blake Lively jokes. He made mad like him and Hugh being best friends jokes. He made like a joke about like Ryan Reynolds owning the fucking the soccer team. Like yo, I legit was sitting there like oh shit. Okay, he made a Ryan Reynolds joke. I get it.
But isn't that meta within the meta? Where Deadpool knows that he's not real, but he's also Ryan Reynolds being...
Yeah, it is, but it's kind of fucking sucks.
So,
I'm going to be real. It is meta within the meta, and everybody that says that, I agree. You're right.
Like,
it just sucks.
I would say maybe the issue is... How can I put that? Isn't that he's too much Ryan Reynolds? No. I'm just saying, I think what the issue is, you just kind of find him annoying.
Yes, I said that's how I started it.
But
here's the thing: Deadpool's annoying, but Deadpool annoying and Ryan Reynolds annoying is 2 different types of annoying. And I think y'all are eating up this Ryan Reynolds propaganda. He is not Deadpool. He is Ryan Reynolds. He's doing a good job as Deadpool. I don't think he is Deadpool. I think people keep saying like. It's weird to say that because people keep saying he is Deadpool.
Here's what I think people mean. I think because Ryan Reynolds, the person, as a normal person in social media and what I see, doesn't remind me of Deadpool. I feel like the characters that he plays reminds me of a Wade Wilson. And he only plays one character. So he knows how to play that one character.
Character is Ryan Reynolds, guys. And this is what I don't like him, nigga. Like, he needs to be less Ryan Reynolds. That's it. I'm sorry. He needs to be less Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. That's all I'm saying.
Look, I can respect it because
he had the parts.
I'm usually down to be on the ledge with you, but I don't know.
Have to be on this ledge, bro. I will be on this ledge by myself. And I will say that this nigga was annoying as fuck. And like, job well done.
Yeah,
because
I was going to say that
Deadpool is annoying.
Yeah,
but like, there were parts that like were annoying to the point where I was just like, he could be less Ryan Reynolds.
So you want him to do less
Ryan Reynolds related jokes.
Okay.
Less of those.
Okay.
That's what. That's all I mean.
Okay.
Like,
So then
I'm not even talking about him being annoying or being.
Okay.
Just be Deadpool, nigga.
So less real life references.
He can make real life references, just less Ryan Reynolds. Like, he's making jokes as Ryan Reynolds, not as Deadpool making fun of like Ryan Reynolds. You can make fun of Ryan Reynolds. He can make fun of his wife. He can OD, like, do all of that shit. He could dead talk about how he's in a movie and acting.
So
it's just those specific.
Dial back
like,
the Ryan
Reynolds references itself.
Yeah.
Threw me like I didn't like it.
Okay.
Like, I was just like, this is
so now.
Stupid.
Okay. So I'm not on a ledge with you, but I understand your ledge now. I understand it now. Because before it was just like,
bro, relax. No, because I'm not saying. Again, Deadpool is annoying. Like, that's a big part of the. No, I'm talking about who Deadpool actually is.
Yeah.
So Ryan Reynolds being annoying and Deadpool being annoying, that's a perfect union, right? But I need him to be less of Ryan Reynolds when he's Deadpool.
Yeah,
like,
make less Ryan Reynolds reference jokes.
It wasn't even a lot, but it was enough that I was just like, all right, nigga.
Okay.
Like, you're doing.
So that, okay. So now I can understand where you're coming from. I can understand where you're coming from now. All right, cool. Because honestly, like, at first when you were just like, I didn't understand, because in my mind it was just like, to me, they're both the same type of annoying in character. Because he does the, even his character in Blade 3, that was not Wade Wilson, acted like fucking Wade Wilson. It was always the awkward, I'm gonna keep talking more than I should talk type jokes, and you should. And even in Blade was just like, yo, you ever shut up? Like, and he was like, no, like, I talk a lot when I'm nervous. Like, he's always playing that singular character in every fucking film. But if your problem is he's making too many jokes as Ryan Reynolds playing Wade Wilson, then I could understand that. Okay, that's a fair complaint. That I could, because okay. Now I understand, because before I did not understand your ledge at all. But now, kind of speaking about it, I get that now. Okay, that's fair. Since we're winding down, okay. So where does this rank in the trilogy? Like, where is Deadpool?
It's the second best.
Second best? Okay, what's the first one?
Deadpool.
The original Deadpool is the best. This
Okay.
is the second best, and then the
second
dog
one.
shit one is the dog shit.
I don't even think that one's that bad. I just rewatched it recently. I didn't think it was that bad.
It's bad compared to the other two.
Okay, that's fair. For me, maybe I need to watch it again. But I think
the best one to you.
it's possible. Maybe, like I said, I need to watch it again because, recency bias will play an effect. And I did watch the other ones right before I saw the third one. But I would go 3, 1, 2. The second one is still the worst of the three, but I still think it's good. It's just not as good as the other two to me. Because the first one is like a classic for me. Like that holds somewhere special because it was just like, oh shit, they really got this made. But I feel like this is more the fine-tuned in terms of like having an actual budget, getting like the actual cameos that they probably wanted. Because the first one was just like, here's 50 million, figure it out.
Yeah.
And they just tried to put something together with 50 million. This is like, I'm in the MCU now. I can make the references I want. I got the budget I want. I could actually make a full Deadpool film. So I feel like this is the completed version of what I would have want one to be in terms of like everything, having everything that they need. Because, they couldn't really do like X-Men. So he had to make the X-Men jokes. It's like, oh, there's no one in the mansion. It's like, because we didn't have a budget. Like, so it was like shit like that. But the first one is still special. And the second one, I still love the second one. Cable kicked ass, like all that shit with Domino, she was great. Like X-Force, like I still like it. It's just those two are just better films overall than that. So yeah, I'm pretty much on the same page with you. I just flip 1 for 3, but it's pretty much the same. I'm going to skip my final question because that is going to be an entire episode. So instead, we'll wrap it with final score. What do you give it?
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Okay, fair. I'm giving it a 4 because I'm giving it a 4 only because like I feel like 3 to 4 is where most people are going to rate it. Like if you have a problem with it, it's not a bad movie, so you'll probably give it a 3. But if you like it, it's not a perfect movie and it's not a 4.5 because the movies I have at 4.5 are like certain names and I don't feel like it's one of those. But it's a 4. It's a solid film for me. Even though it's part of the bigger MCU universe, it doesn't really make too many references to that. Like, it's not like, oh, Thanos is like, we got to round up the multiverse because blah, blah, blah. Like, you can just watch this film and it's just this film. Like, it doesn't feel like you're watching it as part of.
I will
the
say
steps
though,
of
in
the
the
other
beginning
films.
when they were showing him the TV screens, I think they did show a scene from either Secret Wars or Doomsday where Thor is crying for the Deadpool
That is
because he was like, "That's supposed to happen way in the future."
Yeah.
So I
and
seen that scene
did
and I
reference
was like,
that. They did reference that. I saw him reference that on Twitter, and I saw Chris Hemsworth say I could keep a secret. And then he also replies to some shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get that scene at some point, like and a Deadpool like
we
aha.
know that Thor is fucking Dave Chappelle now. Him and Deadpool are gonna get together so well. Oh fuck, I hate it. I'm so angry.
Unless they serious him out a little bit more because Taika's gone.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna get Goofy Goober Thor like that anymore. So,
But then again, they scrambling so much they might call Taiki back. Man.
if they call him back, we're not
still
back
fucking
anymore.
not back,
We're not
yeah.
back anymore, y'all.
That shit's
Because there's things that I want to talk about, but this is a Deadpool episode, so I'm not gonna save that for
Also,
the other shit.
I guess we can go back to Deadpool. I will say that I feel like everybody else likes this movie way more than I do.
Probably.
And
I enjoyed it a lot. Though.
I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And I don't think it's essentially a bad movie. I just think that we're kind of so used to slop that like we see something like kind of be a little fun and it's still a little sloppy, and we kind of ignore like the faults of it. And I feel like the MCU has shown that they've like kind of mishandled shit, but people just look at them like they could do no wrong. So maybe my judgment is a little harsh, but I also feel like Marvel deserves it because like you guys have basically ran the game for upwards of like what, like 10 years, like
Definitely
almost
more than
decade,
that.
more than
Yeah.
a decade, and like I don't know. I feel like
I
don't know, bro. I feel like yeah, the movie's fun. Yeah, it's a good movie. Maybe I'm also kind of being because it is like kind of a standalone thing. It's not like really.
You can just, like I said, you just watch it.
You can watch it, enjoy it, kind of not understand what's going on, but you still kind of have to understand what's going on. But I think the points go down for me when I think about like just what Marvel is doing and where Marvel has been and where it's trying to go. And that's why I was like 3 out of 5. It's like fun. I liked it more than I thought I would, but I could also see Marvel in like the scramble. We trying to get people back mode because we kind of fucked up.
So I would say, I guess, final thoughts on what you were just talking about. I think it's a hard position to be in. And this is not even bail. Like, I'm just putting myself in that position. That's a hard position to be in because if you have a winning formula and that shit works, and then after a while, people are tired of that. And they're like, yo, try new things, do different things. And then you try new things and different things. And people are like, man, you were so much better pre-Endgame when you were doing blah, blah, blah. And then you go back to that. And then everyone's just like, these niggas desperate. It's like, okay, so I've tried the things. You didn't like the things. You wanted the old things. And I gave you the old things. And you're like, yo, I can't believe they gave me the old things. So it's like, what direction are you going if people aren't happy with either direction?
Here's my thing though. They
general,
tried
that's not even a you thing.
2 new things out of 50. And then like Eternals and what else did they kind of try?
Doctor Strange?
And Doctor Strange, right? Niggas like Doctor Strange. Niggas did not fuck with Eternals.
They didn't really like it that much.
Niggas didn't love Doctor Strange, but niggas like Doctor Strange. You get what I'm saying? Okay.
I loved it.
Let's just say
I liked it.
those 2 things that they tried failed, and then they immediately ran back to the old formula. That's not, in my opinion, you got so much money and they have like so much power to spread throughout different like things that you can try more, like, because they did also try other things that worked, but the second they seen like the crowd just being like, we want that old shit, they immediately just fall back into the old shit because it's a money printer. Like, they want the money printer.
Because I mean, when you think
that's
about,
why I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying that I feel like I'm not even really putting this on the creatives and the creators. I'm putting this on Disney itself and Marvel itself because they look at the algorithm. They're not looking at like, what is because this movie is not creatively bankrupt. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's like one of those movies where like you could tell whoever made this movie, they care about the movie, they care about the IPs, they care about, like you said, it was a love letter to Fox. It felt less like they were shitting on Fox and more like this is the end of an era, and we're gonna send it off like very well, which is why I gave it a 3 out of 5 instead of giving it like a 2 out of 5 or 2.5 out of 5. But Disney and Marvel like to pretend like they know what's going on, and it's kind of clear they kind of don't. Like, nigga, and it's everyone's human. We're human, nigga. Like, shit is mad unforeseeable. Like, so for you to be the plan man, the plan guys, the plan masters, y'all didn't really plan too well, like, in my opinion. Which, I don't know. Maybe I can see that I'm being harsh, but I think they need it. Like, I think Marvel needs it.
I mean, I feel like they need it, but at the same time, because I mean, if you're at the top, let's just say, because I mean, technically Marvel has been on the top. You have like 40 fucking series and movies across different platforms, and your formula's been working for so long, and then because I mean, to have the luck, let's just go with that. To have the luck that Disney has had with all these series, that's unheard of for anyone in any arena. Like, I mean, you've been able to combine, you've been able to make like 10 movies and then combine that into a film. You got all these different actors on all these different schedules to come together to do these movies. Like Endgame and Infinity War sound impossible to get that large of a cast, because by then a lot of these actors are big in themselves. Like, you have fucking Robert Downey Jr., you have fucking what's my son's name that passed? Chadwick. You have all these different people that are building names for themselves. They don't have to. I mean, they have to because it's their contract. But I mean, in general, like, to get all these people on different time schedules together. Because I mean, even outside of Meta, sometimes we can't record because it's just me and you, and our schedules might not match. So imagine doing that with a cast of like 40, 50, 60 different people to get them all together. That shouldn't even be possible. So to have that luck for so long, to get all these people across, like you said, for like a decade, and getting these schedules together and never having an issue, like nothing happening, is unprecedented. So then when it finally happens, because you ride in the high of this for like 10 years, like, yo, we got this shit. We know our formula. This shit works. People love it. Then the Jonathan Major shit happens. You can tell that they didn't plan for a backup. They had their plan. Like, because I'm sure, like, if everything goes according to whatever they had, it works. But they didn't plan a backup plan in case some shit happened. Because
that's not acceptable.
I'm just saying, look, I'm just saying though, like,
I'll feel it.
Because it's been working for 10 years. Why do I need a backup? We've been coasting. Now, that's arrogant.
I feel it.
That's arrogant because it's like, yo, anything could happen at any point.
But that's only unacceptable because Disney and Marvel is such a big corporation. It's kind of hard to compare like us failing to do something compared to like hundreds of thousands of employees and like different people.
That. But just like,
and I'm sure the big wigs, like, here's a theory that I have that I was gonna save for like our Disney conversation, like for the future of like Marvel conversation. I actually think the RDJ as Doctor Doom was a part of the plan. Was always a part of the plan. It's just Jonathan Majors fucked up so much that like they had to reverse it. You get what I'm saying? They had to be like, yo, in my mind, I thought it was gonna be Kang and Doom, but they were hiding Doom to surprise us. And they was pushing Kang to the forefront. So then when Doom pops up, we're all hyped. And we like, oh, shit, this is an extra thing to be hype about. I think Jonathan Majors fucked them up so crazy that they changed their plan. And now Doom is the head nigga. And now they had to bring out RDJ to fucking get people to come back to Marvel. Like, I think, like, so they have a plan.
I'm not going to talk about
they kind of fucked up
my part on that. But I will say, when you just said they're too big of a corporation to not have a backup, this is going to be my pushback to that, because this is beyond movies. And this is man random, but it's also true because we all got to see it. When COVID happened, there's not a business alive that prepared for not having money. Like, they all were. When you found out that your favorite brand and your favorite company was living check to check just like you, you couldn't believe that. They're a large corporation. What do you mean Target is struggling? What do you mean Best Buy is struggling? What do you mean fucking Rite Aid is closing locations and shit like that? Again, most of these niggas ride a high because they believe we're good. We're big enough that shit won't happen to us. So again, Marvel having 10 plus years of solid success, of never having an issue, they're no different from fucking Target or any of these other niggas. Everybody's too full of themselves and they're too arrogant to believe I should have a backup plan for my actual plan. No, we have this schedule. This is what we're doing. And they kind of went with that. Even when they had to pivot with the whole T'Challa thing in Chadwick, they did that very quickly because they didn't put too much on Chadwick's plate. They put everything on Jonathan Majors' plate. They gave him a whole fate. I don't know who he fucked, but he fucked somebody good enough where they were just like, put the whole bag on him and just bet on him. And then it turns out that was not a good idea. And because of that, and you plan, and you know Marvel don't just plan for the year. Like their scheduled plan for whatever they're planning is like 2-3 years in advance. So if you planned out your whole storyline for the next 3 years, and part of that, at least a year and a half of that, is an intricate part, is this one person, and you lose that one person.
How you plan man with one plan? I don't care, man. That shit is crazy to me. How are you plan man with one plan? I get it. That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. And unforeseeable shit does happen. But I'm not jacking that. Like, I'm not jacking it. I can't jack that Disney. This was so unforeseeable that Disney was like, "Fuck, man."
Like I said, the only reason I'm jacking it is because I've seen bigger companies. Well, not bigger companies, but I've seen companies around the world falter. Like niggas had to figure out how they was getting paid and like getting groceries and shit, and companies were just like, that. "Oh shit!"
I think this is a completely different situation than COVID, though. Like this is like it's putting all your eggs in one nigga.
It's still an unforeseeable thing that you didn't prepare for. Because even with Marvel, I still think that everyone, because I agree with everyone else, where it's just like, yo, recast and just keep it going. But clearly, there had to be something in that nigga's contract where he had all, like, not rights because they own the IP, but he's the only person that could do this thing. Whatever the role, the whole Kang shit, like whatever wording was in his contract, it had to be ironclad. Because honestly, they replaced people. Like we replaced fucking War Machine and never thought twice. It was just like, oh, we just replaced General Ross the other day. Like it's a whole new nigga. It has to be something. They're keeping something from us. They are keeping something from us because it makes no sense that everyone else can be replaced, but this.
That
nigga.
Makes me think that I can't jack that they didn't have that they just didn't have a plan. Like I can't jack like y'all just.
That's why I jack it.
Backup plan,
bro. That's why I jack. Because if they had a backup plan, we wouldn't be struggling like this. That would go against everything that you said about them.
And I can't jack them at all then. Because come on, my nigga. Like y'all supposed to be like the come on, man. Like that's stupid. And that goes back to my point. I think they deserve to be told like y'all, this is ass. Y'all are doing some ass. This shit is annoying. This shit is getting old.
That's why they have to go through. They have to go through this struggle phase right now. And I feel like it's helped them. In a way, because X-Men 97 was fire. That was a good step forward. Know what I mean? They're still taking their time with the mutants. We don't know anything. I mean, I've seen a couple castings here and there, but for the most part, they're taking their time. This was crowd pleasing with this movie because most of the negative comments, you aside, is really critics. Fans love it. Like for the most part, fans love it. It's gotten. This is probably the most well-reviewed movie they've done in a while that's not Guardians, like the third Guardians. And the Guardians 3 was a little different because it was just like, this is a send-off for blah, blah, blah. But this was a way to usher in at least one mutant that we all know and love into like your bigger universe. If this movie flopped, Marvel would be in a lot of fucking trouble. Because then if you can't get butts in the seats with Deadpool and Wolverine, it's over for you. But the fact that they managed to make this work, like I told you before when we was doing the trailers, with Captain America is a very important movie for them. Because that is not to take anything away from it, but that's not a star power movie. Like that is, you are now this is your first chance to bring in a new character into your new post-Endgame universe that is supposed to be a major player going forward. So you need your new Cap to do well. Granted, the first Captain America movie did not do that well. I still love that movie a lot. It didn't do well
It's a good movie, though.
yeah, it didn't do well until Winter Soldier. So, but I can't give him that type of leeway because you've had mad years to figure that shit out. So this movie is very important for them.
Oh, that's another amazing sequel.
Yeah. God damn. I had to do like a top 5. That's tough. That's tough. I forgot about that shit. God damn. But yes, like in general, I feel like I need to see where they go from now because we were in the middle of the confusion phase with the Jonathan Majors. So you've had time to figure it out. You slowed down your production schedule because we didn't get that much Marvel this year. Like you spaced everything out. So I want to see what happens next year. Let's see where did you find the error in your ways? Did you find the mistakes that you made? Did you fix the plan? Going forward, did you learn your lesson not to put all eggs in one basket and figure out like, hey, in case such and such happens, we got like to pivot to this and we could use this method instead versus, nigga, we've been on top for 10 years. It'll work out. And then shit happens and it's like, oh shit, it didn't work out. We got to sit down and really talk and figure this shit out. So I want to see what happens going forward because it's easy to judge you in the middle of the mess because no one's prepared for a mess. And when the mess happens, you got to figure your way out of it. Now that you're out of it, quote unquote, out of it, let's see what happens now. It's been a year since all that shit happens. What are you going to do now? Like, what is your plan for the movies? How are we leading into Secret Wars? But I'm going to save the Secret Wars for another conversation because we could talk about that for like a whole nother hour. But again, I'm interested to see how that works. All that stuff as well. From like I said, I give it a 4, you give it a 3. It rounds out to a 3.5. It's still a good movie overall. I'm not going to act like it doesn't have flaws, but overall, I enjoyed the movie. Deadpool has a pretty good trilogy. I want to talk about that later on in a different episode. It's just pretty good trilogy within his 3 movies. I'd like to see what happens now because honestly, like kind of like we said in the start of the episode, I appreciate them not hinting at anything more. Like there was no, and next the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Like there was no, oh shit. Like it was literally like, hey, the whole gag is literally just Deadpool wasn't lying when he said that Johnny Storm said all that shit. Like he really said all that shit and like really cursed out. And that was literally the cutscene. And it was just like you left thinking about just the movie. They didn't. I feel like that was just smart in general to not force the audience to be like, oh shit, yeah, that movie was fun, but yo, you see what's coming though?
Yeah.
Like it was more like that shit was fucking funny. And then you still think about the rest of the movie in the process. So I appreciate them for doing that. And if they did that, it would have undercut the whole letter to the Fox universe because it's like, oh yeah, this was a letter to Fox, but Thunderbolts now, bro. Like it just felt like we focused on just what we had, and that's it. And if what we had was enough for you, then you're happy, and whatever else happens later on happened later on. And plus, he's not known for doing that. All his movies is just like a gag joke at the end of the movie where he killed his other self.
Honestly,
in the first one.
I thought it was gonna be like I thought the post-credit scene was going to be like them zooming back to like the Avengers in 2016. Like
I thought so too.
They're like in the meeting, they pull up a picture of Deadpool and everybody's like, no.
I thought it was going to be some shit where like
somebody's like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, I thought he was going to teleport himself to like the first Avengers movie, like towards like the big fight scene at the end or some shit. I thought it was going to be something like that. Just to find out that it was just Johnny Storm cursing was just great. That was fun. And even in the second film, where the end credit scene was him using the bathroom and then coming out and saying like, "Yeah, we got cable. We got to increase in the budget. We got cable." And then like Legion's like, "Go home."
Yeah.
Like I appreciate that because they stuck to what they do, and it made it enjoyable experience overall for me. So overall, like I said, 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 3.5 for the Metahumans altogether. So hope you guys appreciate that. Any final words before we wrap?
The movie was fun. It was a fun movie, bro.
It was fun. All right. So as always, this has been another issue of the Mighty Metahumans podcast, providing you with that high quality nerd commentary. Subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend. We on Patreon. If you want to see your boys, you know what I mean? You see the skin, you know what I mean? We looking good out here, you know what I mean? Sign up for Patreon. Yeah, light skin squint. You know what I mean? Sign up for Patreon, you know what I mean? Gene Landon tier $5 a month. You can see your boys. Sign up for Dennis Plus. $10 a month. We got Night Deviants coming. Night Deviant versus Colton is gonna be kind of crazy. Know what I mean? New tier coming soon. Yeah. So other than that, you can find us on all social media sites across wherever, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook brothers. I know y'all
Facebook
like this
brothers.
movie, brother.
I know y'all love this movie. It's for y'all.
Incel brothers. Yeah. The Mighty Metas. You can find me on all social media sites as Old Dirty Dennis. That's OLDIRTYDENNIS. You can find my cards on Etsy, etsy.com/artbyden, DENN. Or if you need something for your multiverse boo, know what I mean? You could get it printed out right away because you don't know who the anchor in your universe is. You know, niggas might be deteriorating right now. Like, so go, if you need the card right now, print it out right now, just go to Digital by Den. That's DENN. You can find my son Colton.
Oh, on Twitter, I'm the Colton Show __ It's 2 underscores. TheColtonShow. On every other social media, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, it's just the Colton Show. My portfolio at thecoltonshow.com. I got my portfolio.
Check
I'm
the shit out.
Update it. I'm about to add a bunch of like
Mad
dream
pictures.
con pics.
Shit look good, nigga.
Yeah. Thecoltonshow.com. I also have a website. So.
Fuck with my boy. Any final words? Podcast Jesus.
No, when Hugh Jackman told Deadpool to shut the fuck up because I like felt the exact same way.
Yo, he told that yo, you can't even save your relationship with a stripper, nigga.
Nigga said, I want you to die alone, but the greatest joke ever is that you can't die, and we all gotta deal with it. Damn!
That nigga was cooking.
He was right. He was right. I'm sorry. I fucking hate Ryan Reynolds.
I don't
hate Ryan Reynolds.
My final, I'm just throwing an extra final word. My final word is, I'm gonna make a name for myself.
Let everybody know what I done here.
Hold on. We out.
All right, we out.